branding and marketing will outperform lead generation from an ROI perspective every single time. Hey guys, Mike Cuevas, Real Estate Marketing Dude, and what we're gonna do right here is I'm gonna demonstrate for you exactly why branding and attraction has a higher ROI than does lead generation. So let's first start off by distinguishing the two. Lead generation is when you're buying business, you're buying leads. These are direct activities that we can attach a direct return on investment on. So for example, if I was buying Zillow leads or Realtor.com leads, I would eventually know how many leads it would take to be a buyer. If you've ever taken any guru's class, you usually say, you're one more no away from your next yes, blah, 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 blah. That is absolutely true though, because you know there's a direct ROI, and in cold lead generation, depending on how good you are at converting those leads, you're gonna see anywhere between 1 on the very low end if you're a really horrible conversion person or horrible at converting leads, all the way up to as high as 8 to 9% I've seen, and those are pretty good numbers. Now, the point is that there's a direct ROI. So I know if I'm spending X amount of money, well, then I'm going to get X amount in return based upon how those leads have performed over time. Now, however you want to look at it, regardless of what type of lead generation you're doing, whether you're doing cold calling, door knocking, you're buying leads, or you're running PPC campaigns, you're gonna know your numbers, or you should, because you'll know how much you need to spend to acquire a contract, and that is just straight lead generation. Now, some of the problems with lead generation though is it's very expensive, it's unreliable in the current conditions of a market shift like this. Lead systems that are currently performing at 8 or 9%, the market shift now those are now performing at 2%. So it's very risky, or it can be, especially in a shifting market. Now, branding and attraction on the other side is a little bit different, but it is still determined by an ROI. And people always ask me, hey Mike, if I'm gonna go out there and start marketing my database, creating a lot of video content, and or just becoming the local mayor of my town through content creation, how do I determine what my ROI is? And this is exactly what you need to know. You see, when you're branding and you're marketing, you're not so much trying to generate a lead as much as you're trying to generate the attention or the eyeballs of the people your message is for. So what I want to walk you through is a very simple formula that we use to calculate the return on investment, because it's just like lead generation, it is also mathematical, and here's how it works. First number you want to know is that 10 to 15% of the population moves each and every year. That number typically hovers around the 14%. Now, at the same time, 100% of the population knows someone that they can refer you to. Now, knowing those two numbers are extremely important for applying your marketing campaigns. And one of the most profitable marketing campaigns you're ever gonna do is just literally staying in touch in relationship with your database. And defining who your database is, that's the very first start. Now, your database is gonna be anyone that you come across that you say hello to. Basically, anyone that you can imagine on your Facebook friends list who bought or sold a house without you. If you get a stinging pain in your stomach and you feel like you wanna punch them in the face, well, that's part of your database. There's a reason why you believe they should be doing business with you. See, but the problem a lot of us have is, hey, we don't look at as every single person we know as our next client or next source of referral, do we? So let me challenge you with this. If roughly 10 to 15% of my friends are moving this year and 100% of people I know someone who's moving, what if I were just to send everyone I know one direct mail postcard a month? It could be a holiday greeting, it could be anything that you want, it doesn't matter. But just sort of staying in touch with them would be very beneficial. See, direct mail is one of the best ROIs you're ever going to spend, especially when it goes to your database. And the reason for that is this. If you have roughly 100 people on your direct mail database, all 100 of them are going to get that piece of mail regardless if it's a postcard or a letter. And if they pick up this piece of mail and they throw it in the trash, big deal. They just physically engaged with you, which is great for top of mind brand awareness. And that's exactly what branding and marketing is. So in this particular example, if I have 100 people in my database, all people that are living around me, friends, family, uncles, aunts, past clients, well, 10 to 15 of them are going to be moving this year. It's a mathematical fact, but yet all 100 of them have a referral from me. See, in real estate, over 80% of business is going to come from people you already know, you met in the past, or you personally run into, or that you worked with in the past. So people are going to use someone they know, like, and trust. The question is whether or not it's going to be you. Now, I want you to take that exact same concept and apply it to your email list. And if you don't have an email list right now, you need to build one. But the email list I'm talking about is an email list full of relationships. People that you'd invite to your wedding and or funeral, or you'd be extremely upset to learn that I sold them a house, not you. Now, if you have that relationship with them, and let's just say that you're email list is about 250 people, because everybody knows 250 people. There's actually a book written on this topic, and I want you to just think about farming these people via email versus reaching a bunch of strangers you've never met. Now, we use video email, and with video email we see about a 40% open rate on average, and the reason for that is because we're not using boring subject lines and we're not telling our database, hey, here's the recent real estate market update, or hey, don't forget to go ahead and turn back your clock. Instead, we're creating engaging content with their communities that people love to see and engage on, and in exchange what we're leading to is it's getting a lot more eyeballs, open rates, which takes us to an average of about 40% open rate, which is 4 times the national average. Now again, I'll ask you the same question: is if you have 250 people in your email list, and over the next 12 months you were to send them 2 video emails a month, all on emails that have nothing to do with how much real estate you sell but add value to their daily lives, do you think you would be able to generate a couple more referrals and repeat business? Because statistically, out of those 250 people, well, roughly 10 to 15% of them are moving, and all 250 of them have a referral for you. Now, as you do this over 12 months, it's 2 video email touches, which is an additional 24 touches a year in addition to the 12 touches of your direct mail. Now, when it comes to social media, the goal of social media is to not so much on get up on a soapbox and hit everyone over the head with your lockbox, your interest rates, or your calculators. It's to say, hey, don't forget I exist. And the whole point of being on social, at least from a marketing perspective, is to create content that reminds people about what you do for a living, because nobody wants to be on the receiving end of a sales pitch. But I want to challenge you to think of this as this. If you have roughly 1,000 Facebook friends, 500 followers, and on your LinkedIn you have 250, and you're just starting to build a YouTube channel, every single time that you post anything real estate related that reminds people you're in real estate, well, I want you to really gather your total reach. Just at 2 videos a month on social media and distribute it to your Facebook account, your IG followers, your LinkedIn, and even post it to your YouTube page, how many views can you put on your business? Because the same exact numbers stand true. 10 to 15% of your annual views are people who are going to be moving this year, and most won't even know it yet, while 100% of the people who view your content have the ability to refer you 1 deal this year. There's only 2 numbers you need to know when it comes to branding and attraction. One is 10 to 15% of your database is going to be moving, and 100% of them have a referral for you. And then it's just a matter of growing more and more connections and building relationships with people, and using video and content creation as a way to nurture those relationships, stay on top of mind, and add value so they don't forget about you right after you're done with the transaction or the last time they engage with you. The reason for this is very simple, folks. Roughly 6 months after the transaction, 80% of buyers forget their agents' names, and that's impossible to run a referral-based business where past customers don't even know who you are. If this is enticing to you and you want to learn more, visit our website at Real Estate Marketing Dude, and we'll show you exactly how we set up a 3-pronged approach to make sure no one in your network, Facebook friends, email list, or even your direct mail contacts ever forget that you're in real estate. Click the link next to this video and make sure you like and follow on our page here, and check out the rest of our social channels. I'm Mike Cuevas, Real Estate Marketing Dude. We'll see you on next week's video.